Heyo, it is another day. It is another sports card video. How is everybody doing? Hope everyone is having an amazing weekend.
This is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Today we're going to go through channel sponsor COMC.com sales data from last week. A couple of quick housekeeping notes. I'm going to be at the Philly Card Show coming up this weekend. I'm excited about it. It is going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will be there on Saturday all day. And then there's also a trade night. I believe it's 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Santiago Sports is going to be sponsoring that one. So I'm looking forward to hanging out and seeing people out there at the Philly show. All right, this data provided by COMC, it entails all sales across their website, the stuff that's on eBay, port sales, and it's based on volume, not on dollar amount of sales. And for the reason being that if you have huge dollar amount, maybe one big sale, that could push somebody up to the top of the list. And so this is based on volume of sales, number of cards sold for different players. And so this is kind of the top fives for these. We'll start with baseball. One thing I've noticed, we are back into prospecting season, whether it be top series 1 baseball or, you've got the football quarterbacks. It's now off season, so everyone's looking at football stuff. Prospecting definitely in full swing. A guy that is a proven player sits at number 1 on this list, Bryce Harper. Number 2, Mike Trout, a mainstay. Number 3, Shohei Ohtani. Both of those guys on this list typically. The 2 Angels typically on this list. Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, is on the list this week, and he is the face of Topps. Man, this guy is everywhere. I was joking, he's on they've got like a Bachelor parody for him. They've got him baking cookies to promote Top Series 1. They got this guy doing all sorts of things, but it's really cool, and he's doing a great job. Number 5, we rounded out with Wander Franco. That's a guy that's kind of like been off the beaten path, kind of not as much in the headlines. Wasn't he injured? I believe he might have been injured, but I just remember there being less talk about Wander Franco recently, but he is back in as far as sales goes. All right, we will move to basketball. Michael Jordan is number 1 in basketball every single week, but we just use the active players for this list, and it's always typically LeBron James sitting at number 1. We got Luka Doncic at number 2, which sometimes he's not even on this list, or he's like 5th. So Luka Doncic stuff moving around. Giannis on this list. I think people are getting excited and kind of getting closer to NBA playoffs, and the Bucks looking strong. Giannis, obviously, if he can win that second title, that would be really interesting for his overall legacy. Still a young player. Number 4, Ja Morant. I'm going to assume that there's a lot of sellers, Ja Morant sellers, over the last week. He's just had a weird week. There's a lot of big expectations for Ja Morant, and now are there question marks around him? I think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out here over the next really couple of months to end out the season, and then also going into next season. Zion's hurt, and Ja Morant is acting weird. And then number 5, we're rounded out by the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. Let's move on to football. Number 1, the GOAT himself, Tom Brady, is number 1 in football. Really, the driver for football cards is Brady, and the number 2, Patrick Mahomes II. These two guys really are, I would say, the main drivers for modern football cards. So no surprises seeing them in the top 2. Justin Fields, though, at number 3. That's an interesting one. There's been a lot of talk, too, about Chicago sitting at number 1. Are they going to trade out of that pick? And it looks like that they are going to trade out, and it doesn't seem like they want a quarterback. I think they're going to stick with Fields. They literally just drafted Fields. And I'll be honest with you, I look at these prospects coming out. I know everyone gets excited about QB prospects coming out every year. I just don't see anyone in this particular draft that is just like exciting. A lot of these guys are, 5'10", 5'11", which to me, I don't know. It's just when you look at how many QBs are 5'10", 5'11", that have had successful NFL careers, and I know the game is changing and there's more of a running style and this and that, but I still don't like it. I would still, if I'm running an NFL team, would rather have a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", but that's just me. So Fields sits at 3. Number 4, Trevor Lawrence. That's a guy sitting at 6'3", 6'4". People are excited about him. He kind of broke out this last year on a Jags team that really kind of overachieved, and they were really close to making something happen in the playoffs. So Trevor Lawrence put himself on the map. He was kind of one of those where, the first year not so great, but he had Urban Meyer coaching. Now he's got Peterson, an actual good football coach and a good QB coach, and they're doing some good things. Number 5, Joey B rounds it out I'm a Joey B guy. I really like him. I just think it's going to be a war between him, Mahomes, Lawrence, Herbert. All of these young QBs in the AFC are just going to be warring it out. Honestly, if I was a QB in the AFC, I'd probably almost rather, like, on the next contract, get over to an NFC team if one of these guys want to go to the New Orleans Saints, for example, just to get into an easier conference, for crying out loud. And we will end it with hockey, my friends. Number 1, Alex Ovechkin. Number 2, Connor McDavid. A lot of big talk on Connor McDavid. The guy's obviously super gifted. Number 3, Jack Hughes. Number 4, Sidney Crosby. And number 5, Nathan McKinnon. A lot of hockey cards traded on COMC.com. So definitely check it out. If you're a hockey person and you're not on COMC.com, you definitely have to. There's so much great selection on COMC. So thank you again for COMC for providing the data this week. Guys, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.